So you do have a sugar daddy?
Yeah, I got me a good sugar daddy. My sugar daddy been there for 10 years, never ever left my side. I would never leave him. He come way before this.
Was this the ex that she saw you hugged up with?
Yes, Your Honor.
And she posted a picture on her ex birthday in March. Everybody have sex on somebody's birthday, so I'm not gonna
Everybody
sleep
does not.
together.
Be there for your son. You like to clown, your son will love it. He loves to laugh and play. Play with him and not me. He knows he's a father. It's not an issue of paternity. It's an issue of him being responsible.
Miss Smith and her father, Mr. Wooten, are stepping into the legal ring to prove that Ms. Backus is not Mr. Wooten's biological daughter. Miss Smith asserts that her father is facing severe financial difficulties due to garnished wages for child support payments totaling over $92,000 for a child he believes is not his. This garnishment threatens his financial stability. As the drama unfolds, you won't believe what comes next.
You and your father, Mr. Wooten, are suing to prove Ms. Back is not his biological daughter. You say your dad owes more than $92,000 in back child support for a child who isn't his and is on the verge of losing everything because his income is being garnished by 50% each month to pay off that debt.
The plot thickens with Ms. Backus's bold claim. She insists that Mr. Wooten is indeed her father and expects a DNA test to back her up. She demands an apology from Miss Smith and the rest of Mr. Wooten's family for the mistreatment and doubts they have cast upon her relationship with her father. Strap in, what's coming will definitely stir the pot.
You say that Mr. Wooten is your father, and when the results prove you right, you demand Miss Smith and the rest of your father's family apologize for treating you so poorly. How do you think Ms. Backus has ruined your father's life?
Primarily through the actions of her mother by being very deceitful with my father from the very beginning of their relationship.
Here comes a curveball in the narrative. Miss Smith elaborates on the financial and emotional toll the child support claims have taken on her father. Since Mr. Wooten's Social Security payments began, the government has garnished 50% of his income, causing the debt to accrue to over $92,600. Ms. Backus counters by expressing her emotional distress during medical tests in her childhood, feeling abandoned by Mr. Wooten. Hang tight. The next part of their story will add even more twists.
Up until the point that they started garnishing his way, it was going into arrears, drawing interest, and now is over $92,606.06.
Then he should have showed up when I showed up and when they took blood from me just to have the test. He should have showed up for the test and we wouldn't be here today.
Ms. Backus is saying they drew blood?
Yes, ma'am. I was a young girl when my mama finally decided to have child support papers on him.
Get ready for some eyebrow-raising doubts. Mr. Wooten expresses doubts about his paternity of Ms. Backus, discussing inconsistencies in the timeline of his relationship with Ms. Backus's mother. He suspects financial motives might have influenced her claims, especially since she requested financial help early in their relationship. The revelations in the upcoming segment are about to turn the heat up.
I think about 2 months after we've been together, she said she was pregnant. 4 months after we was together, we broke up.
Well, Daddy, you and Mama got two different stories, and I'm coming to find out today.
Because Miss Daniels is a liar.
So, Mr. Wooten, you're saying the relationship was 4 months long?
And once she was 4 months pregnant with her, I realized that most of the things that she was only interested in, me helping her financially. If one of the first things she asked me 1 month after we was together.
As if the waters weren't muddy enough, further details of Mr. Wooten's brief relationship with Ms. Backus's mother are revealed, including conflicting stories about the duration of their relationship and the circumstances surrounding Ms. Backus's conception. This adds to Mr. Wooten's doubt about being the father. The courtroom is about to get even more heated, so keep your eyes peeled.
And she told me you had said that you wanted another child. That's what was told to me. But you're telling me something different, so that's why we're here today.
When I met your mother 3 weeks into knowing her, she wanted to know why.
She told me together a whole year, and then I was born a year later. I'm not even feeling nothing that y'all saying right. That's why I brought y'all here, and we finna find out the truth.
Adding a sprinkle of 21st century drama with social media. Ms. Smith discusses how social media has complicated family dynamics, showing evidence of Ms. Backus, claiming familial ties based on social media interactions and public posts that deepen the familial dispute. The evidence that's about to be thrown down next is pure gold. Don't miss it.
Her kid found me on Facebook a couple of years ago, was praising me. I'm glad, we found out, you the lost child.
And Ms. Backus sent me a Facebook request and I accept because I did know her. After I accepted the friend request, then she would post up pictures online. Don't me and my sister look just alike? No, we do not. We don't look alike.
That's a picture at my granny's funeral.
And it says, gotta love your siblings.
Emotions are hitting the ceiling. As tensions rise, Ms. Backus and her family members make emotional appeals about their relationship relationships and past interactions. Accusations of deceit and misunderstanding are thrown between family members, highlighting the deep emotional and social complexities involved in the case. The next moment is going to drop some serious bombshells. Brace yourselves.
I am holding up a birth certificate. True enough, my mama was wrong for handwriting it in because he was not there when I was born. He came later. She wrote it in because she know who her baby daddy is. One thing my mama
let me see this evidence. This is your birth certificate?
That was my birth certificate. But when I filed for my new one, it came up blank on his name. That means she wrote it in. Yeah, my mama probably look crazy for making a crazy move, but she know who her father is.
The moment of truth is upon us. The judge reads the DNA test results, which reveal that
Alondria Backus, Mr. Wooten Jr., you are not her father. I know this was not the answer you were expecting.
No, it wasn't, but I had to do it. I had to do it.
Yes, you did.
I was tired of being treated. So now I know why I got treated like I am, and I'm good.
Can you believe this start? Miss Gregory spills the tea that the defendant, Mr. Elston, called quits on their engagement just 2 weeks back, doubting the paternity of their son, Carson. She's pushing for a DNA test to prove Mr. Elston is the daddy in hopes of patching things up. Mr. Elston and his sister, however, are betting on a different father, suspecting Miss Gregory's ex instead. Buckle up, because this is just the warm-up.
You say just 2 weeks ago the defendant called off your engagement due to paternity doubts surrounding your son Carson.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove Mr. Elston is the father and hope the result will save your family.
The plot thickens here. Miss Gregory is all about saving her family, stressing how her kids, Carson, and the one on the way need their dad around. She walks us through their May engagement and how the paternity debacle led to their recent split. Mr. Elston shares his side, stirred up by rumors of Miss Gregory's cheating, complete with sightings of her ex. The tea is piping hot and there's more brewing.
So, Miss Gregory, how important is it to save your family?
It's very important for me to save my family because I feel that my kids, both of them, my unborn child and Carson, deserves. And I feel that we got engaged in May. He broke up with me 2 weeks ago because of paternity issues. So I feel that we need to get this all cleared up.
Now it gets juicy. Mr. Elston dives into his trust issues, fueled by chatter about Miss Gregory's alleged affairs, which he personally investigated while out of town. His sister backs him up, claiming she caught the ex's truck parked at Miss Gregory's spot. Miss Gregory counters, puzzled over which truck they're even talking about, given her apartment complex parking situation. Strap in, the roller coaster of accusations is just getting started.
It was, people calling me and texting me, telling me that she's cheating or either somebody's in the driveway. I work out of town. I'm like, I do stuff like I send people over there to check on just to make sure she's not doing nothing. And multiple people told me that they caught her ex in the driveway, caught his car there.
Your Honor, I'm actually the one who caught her ex in the drive. My brother was out of town. He's a hard-working man.
Oh, the drama unfolds. The court digs into how Miss Gregory and Mr. Elston first connected while both were still playing the field with others. Soon after their first rendezvous, bam, pregnancy hits, complicating their not-so-fairy tale. Watch how this tangled web they weaved gets even knottier in the next bit.
How this relationship stopped?
Me and Mr. Elston met through my ex at a basketball game. I was dating.
Through your ex?
I was dating my ex and he was cheating on me at the time, so I felt comfort in Mr. Elston. He had a girlfriend also. We started sleeping together 2 weeks after we met, and then I got pregnant like almost a month later.
And at that time, were you and Mr. Elston boyfriend and girlfriend, or were you still just cheating on your ex?
You won't want to miss this episode. Amid an emergency C-section, Mr. Elston throws a curveball by doubting the newborn Carson's paternity because he looked too white to be his. Despite earlier wanting to pass on his last name, he bails, leaving Miss Gregory in a lurch. The saga of trust issues is far from over, folks.
Was Mr. Elston at the hospital?
He came to the hospital the second day. I had to have an emergency C-section, so I was in the hospital for 5 days. He came the second and begged for me to give Carson his last name. You cannot give my son your last name right now.
No, Your Honor, I was in the hospital all happy, because I was expecting to be my first child. Like, I walked in all happy and we sit down, take a picture, and I looked at him
Your
real
exact
closely.
words was, he's too white.
And
That's exactly what he said.
And they're back at it. 3 weeks post-birth, Mr. Elston pops back into the picture, leading to an engagement. Just when you think they're on the mend, bam! Doubts about the new baby stir up a fresh batch of drama. The plot's about to thicken, so keep your eyes peeled.
3 weeks after I had Carson, he started coming around more. So we ended up getting into a relationship, got engaged, and we was doing good. And then I got pregnant in June. I'm pregnant now, and he just doubts this baby, and more doubts are coming up from Carson. He's asking me for an unborn DNA test and stuff because he doesn't trust me.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be any doubt.
Things like what?
She's actually posted a picture with another dude around the time she was supposed to be pregnant by my brother.
Hold on to your popcorn. Courtroom confessions turn the case on its head, with Ms. Gregory admitting to liaisons with other men during critical times. The thread of fidelity unravels with every text and post, climaxing with a spicy revelation of a Valentine's Day threesome. Next up, the moment we've all been waiting for, DNA results.
The friend says, have you talked to Carly today? You say no, why? Friend says she has some guy over here with her in the living room. You text back, are they hugged up or anything? And she texts back, yes. Was this the ex that she saw you hugged up with?
Yes, Your Honor.
And she posted a picture on her ex birthday in March. Everybody have sex on somebody's birthday, so I'm not gonna
Everybody
sleep
does not.
together.
Brace yourself for the big reveal. The DNA verdict drops like a bomb.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Elston, you are not the father. I'm sorry, Mr. Elston, you are not Carson's biological father.
Buckle up, folks, here we go. Judge Lake begins with a heavy dose of reality, summarizing Ms. Rayford's claim. After Mr. Freeman convinced her to have his child, he abruptly ditched her to return to his fiancée and started denying the paternity of her 8-month-old son, Terry. What's Mr. Freeman's side of the story? Let's find out.
You say that after begging you to have his child, Mr. Freeman abruptly left your relationship, returned to his fiancée, and started denying your baby.
Yes, it is.
Just when you think you've heard it all, Ms. Rayford confirms the messy situation. Mr. Freeman counters, dismissing Ms. Rayford as just a brief fling and accuses her of playing the field, adamant that there's no chance he could be Terry's father due to her liaisons with other men during their time together. The plot thickens. What will the judge say to that?
You say Ms. Rayford was nothing more than a who is now obsessed with you and your fiancée, Ms. Triplett. You claim that during your brief time, Rayford, she was sleeping with multiple men, and there is no way you are her son's father.
Correct, Your Honor.
You won't believe your ears. Things heat up as the conversation escalates rapidly, causing Judge Lake to step in as the courtroom bursts into laughter and exclamations from the audience. Ms. Rayford asserts her hope that Mr. Freeman will recognize Terry as his son and take responsibility. Hold on to your seats because this roller coaster is just getting started.
Ever since he got with this Miss Triplett.
Hold on, first of all, hold on. Ladies. All right, I'm awake now. That erupted from 0 to 100 in less than 1 second. Let's bring it down a notch.
I just want the world to know today that this is his son, so he can step up and be the man he needs for his first child, his son, Terry, Michelle, and the name needs to be changed to Freeman.
Can this get any more intense? Ms. Rayford makes a heartfelt plea for Mr. Freeman to connect with his son, highlighting Terry's lovable nature and Mr. Freeman's responsibility as a father. Meanwhile, Mr. Freeman continues to deny paternity, highlighting his reluctance to accept responsibility. Just wait till you see what's next. More fireworks ahead.
This woman dictates to you about be there for your son. You like to clown? Your son will love it. He loves to laugh and play. Play with him and not me. He knows he's a father. It's not an issue of paternity. It's an issue of him being responsible.
As the tension soars, Judge Lake shows some heart. She allows Ms. Rayford to express her frustration, offering a sympathetic ear to her plight. Ms. Rayford's anguish is evident as she insists on Mr. Freeman's paternity, despite his persistent denials and minimal involvement in Terry's life. Fasten your seatbelts. The courtroom's about to explode.
Why you're upset, and I'm letting you kind of scream it out because I can see how frustrated you are.
I am. I really am.
I want to hear from Mr. Freeman. Being irresponsible to this child, is this because you do not believe Terry is your biological son?
I don't believe he's my son. I tried multiple times to come to Trina's house and stuff. I brought things for the child, you know what I'm saying? And she's neglecting me. I don't need your stuff.
Hold the phone. Here's where it gets wild. The debate over Mr. Freeman's occasional contributions to Terry's upbringing sparks a fiery exchange between Ms. Rayford and Ms. Triplett, filled with accusations of jealousy and dishonesty. Judge Lake has to jump in again. The next part, you guessed it, more bombshells.
Oh, you jealous. You wish that was your son, huh?
How can I be
you
jealous?
wish that was son, huh? You
Miss
remember them tears you cried?
Miss Rayford.
How can I be jealous?
Miss Rayford, focus on.
The only thing I refused was on this particular day, he was saying that he had came by and he had bought a few items for the baby.
So in your mind, when he brought those things, he was accepting Terry. He was this is for the baby.
Yeah, he had been accepting Terry. He was there at the hospital. He said, yeah, he looks just like that. I acknowledge it's my son.
Your Honor.
Let's add a twist to the tale. Ms. Rayford details her complex relationship timeline with Mr. Freeman, recounting how they met through a dating site, navigated overlapping relationships, and the circumstances leading to Terry's conception. Claims both Mr. Freeman and Ms. Triplett dispute. Up next, the drama reaches new heights.
We met in December on a dating hindsight. It was New Year, and I wasn't expecting a baby and all these out of the situation. So I picked him up, and we hung out, brought in New Year's. We had a good time. I came from California to Memphis. When I came to Memphis, I met, and I probably should have went with the first, but he was the second one.
Hang on, there's more to unpack. As Ms. Rayford stands firm on her pregnancy story, Mr. Freeman and Ms. Triplett cast doubt on the timeline and validity of her claims, adding layers of complexity to Terry's paternity saga amid their ongoing relationship issues and Mr. Freeman's dealings with both women. Brace yourselves. The revelations just keep coming.
Your Honor, she was not pregnant before she went to California.
Okay, stop. Now this is where it gets in. Were you with Mr. Freeman during the time that in February?
Yes, ma'am.
You all had started dating and having sex.
Yes.
Rayford, when you went to California, you were already pregnant.
I never saw proof that she was pregnant.
She never told you she was pregnant.
Never told me.
You think that was wild? Check this out. The DNA results are finally revealed.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Freeman, you are
Not.
Keep hope alive, but you're wrong today.
You are the father.
Buckle up, because Miss Lee is here to drop some major bombshells. She's in court to prove that Mr. Green fathered her 3-year-old son, Kingston, despite his persistent denial ever since she announced her pregnancy. This is just the warm-up, folks. Things are about to get even wilder.
You have come to court today with one goal in mind, to prove to Mr. Green fathered your 3-year-old son, Kingston. Mr. Green has denied your son from the moment you got pregnant, but today, his denial will end.
Grab your popcorn, folks. Mr. Green throws a curveball by accusing Miss Lee of having a sugar daddy, who he claims is the real dad, sparking gasps and murmurs from the audience. Trust me, the plot thickens, and you're gonna want to see what happens next.
You say you know exactly who Kingston's father is, and it's not you. It's Ms. Lee's sugar daddy, who's more than twice her age.
Did someone say drama? Miss Lee recounts her endless attempts to get Mr. Green involved in their child's life, met with nothing but denials and excuses. She's fed up and isn't shy about letting everyone know. The courtroom is heating up, and it's about to boil over.
Mr. Green has been denying my child since day one. He's been denying him for 3 years. He has never came around like he's supposed to. I have to call. I have to do so much to get this man in my child's life. But at the end of the day, I just want him to step up.
And Kingston is 3 years old.
Kingston 3. He just turned 3 June 3rd.
So
he didn't do nothing for his birthday.
I try to meet her halfway, but her attitude.
My attitude has nothing to do with you stepping up for your child.
Hold on to your seats, because this ride is getting bumpier. Despite his doubts about being the father, Mr. Green admits he's tried to reach out and even agreed to a DNA test, though he paints a picture of a rocky, non-committal relationship history with Miss Lee. Stick around. There's a twist in the tale just around the corner.
No, I try to meet her halfway as far as, taking the DNA test and things like that. But at the point me and her was talking back and forth, we was never in no steady relationship. She knew I had a girlfriend already. She tried to break me up from that, and I told her
he moved into my home. So if I try to break him up, why are you in my home?
Knew I had a girlfriend. She even tried to call
He
me
knew he had a girlfriend, so it's probably.
She knew it too.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Like,
you can cut the tension with a knife. In a jaw-dropping move, Miss Lee reveals she woke Mr. Green from his sleep with a phone call to his girlfriend to announce her pregnancy. The courtroom is buzzing, and just when you think you've heard it all, there's more to come.
How did you explain to your girlfriend you lived in the house with Ms. Lee?
Oh, he couldn't. I called.
she did.
Oh,
From his phone. So, yeah, I snuck, called the girl, woke him out his sleep and made him start talking and didn't let him know she was on the phone until the end of the conversation. Yeah, your dude over here, and I'm pregnant,
Whoa.
What it is.
In your mind, you knew you weren't really in a relationship with him, but you thought trying to play both sides.
Right.
As if this courtroom couldn't get any more electrified, Judge Lake scrutinizes a scandalous Facebook post by Miss Lee, questioned by Mr. Green as evidence of her flirtatious behavior. But the fireworks aren't over. There's another bomb about to drop.
Who out here got the best D and talking about other men, stuff like that.
Wait, you got.
John, I got evidence
Oh,
right here.
let me see this evidence, Jerome.
Oh, he just seen
You submitted to the court Facebook post from Ms. Lee that say, is it wrong to have choices on men all on the first day just in case the D ain't good? Just asking.
Oh, that's a question.
And you submitted another question, raise of hands.
Oh, the irony. Miss Lee openly admits to going to great lengths, including romantic entanglements, just to get Mr. Green to spend time with Kingston. Desperate times call for desperate measures, right? Keep watching, because this soap opera isn't over yet.
I can count on my hands how many times he has seen his child. How I made him come, we end up sleeping in a hotel together. You know what I'm saying? So he can watch his child. I'm trying to make him be a father.
So you're at the point that you've even had to sleep with him,
Right.
That's not true, Your Honor.
you got a smirk on your face, Mr. Green.
Cause he knows.
No, because I
He's
went over there. I
addicted.
went over there, but we didn't do nothing.
We did something.
Guess what? There's a sugar daddy in the mix. And no, it's not as scandalous as it sounds. Miss Lee clarifies that her long-term financial benefactor hasn't been a romantic partner. Just when you think you've seen it all, the stakes get even higher.
So you do have a sugar daddy?
Yeah, I got me a good sugar daddy. My sugar daddy been there for 10 years, never ever left my side. I would never leave him. He come way before this. You know, he might want some pictures.
But
Pictures and something else is totally, sex and pictures are totally different. So yeah, I send pictures.
Don't look away now. The back and forth over DNA testing continues with accusations flying faster than a speeding bullet. Both parties blame each other for stalling, making this legal tango more tangled by the minute. The climax is near, and it's doozy.
Sounds like to me, I mean, you all doing a whole bunch of nothing. It doesn't take this long to get a DNA test.
What he wanted me to do was pay. I felt like we both had him pay half, I pay half. But they ain't got
But it
nothing
just
to do
feels
with
like, I mean, both of you all going back
We
and
are.
forth. It's like a power play. After Kingston wants some papa play.
Yeah.
He want a daddy.
And here it is, the moment of truth everyone's been waiting for. Judge Lake delivers the DNA test results.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Green, you are the father.
Told you! I told you! Look at him! Look at him!